Okay, so if you have a question about exam, you can ask me right now and I'll answer it. I am not sharing my screen just yet. Send me your questions, or if you had an issue or anything, this is the time, let me know. After this, I'm going to start my lecture. And once I start the lecture, I'm going to be going fairly fast today, and it will be important. Yeah, if you finish the exam and there are no issues, you don't need to tell me anything. But if you had some problem with the exam, let me know. If you're unsure about something, let me know. Monica, did you want to ask something? I'm waiting on your end. Monica, I'm waiting on your. Just let me know if you have, because you said you wanted to ask me some questions. So I'm waiting on you. Yes. The question Monica was asking, um, I actually have posted the answer. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. So the question Monica was asking was the ID, if it doesn't start with a Q, is that okay? Answer is yes. And I should have updated it on my on the website that and I need to go in and check it, but it should have been updated on the website already that you do not need to start with a Q. It will work without it. So if you just enter the number as is, um, it's going to work. Now, for the final exam, you may need to start with a Q. I will post it in there. Yeah, at that particular point in time, what you need to do. You will need your ID again because once you enter your ID, you get a completely unique exam generated just for you. So no two people will have the exact same exam, and it's going to vary even more than what it did right now. This was just to give you an idea of how I'm going to be testing you on the final exam. Okay, so at this point, if you are not recording, I highly recommend you record today's lecture. Okay, because I'm gonna work fast and I'm teaching a lot of stuff, and it will make it easier for you to be able to go back and review things. I'm gonna uh, bring up some stuff from the past first. So I'm gonna just go to my GitHub account. And when I go to my GitHub account, I'm able to see all the things that I have in process that I'm doing with your particular class. So I'm gonna say show more, and so things that I've done in the past that I want you to understand. We were working with payroll, and um, I taught you some stuff with that. We are right now pretty much towards the end of the semester, and I was doing JavaScript with you also in the previous class. So we are now coming pretty much to the end of the semester. I believe we have today's class, then one more class, which is on the 15th, and then your final is scheduled for 22nd. And I will double check it, but that's what I remember. Your final exam, when it's scheduled, um, right there, December 22nd. So I'm actually gonna reorder these things. Not from here, 1 second. I need to reorder from up there. So I'm gonna put the final exam right at the top. And be aware of it. So after today's class, so I've posted part one of the final exam, and we're going to be working on these things. I think I made a mistake when I was, yeah, this is the one I really wanted to move up towards the top. Let me do it one more time. For some reason, I did not do it correctly. Okay, so this is what I want you to be aware of. Final exam is scheduled for December 22nd, 6:15 p.m., and I'll be giving you more details, as I said later. And those details will be given in the next class, what we were working on, and I'm going to bring it up from GitHub. I should have something about JavaScript here. Yeah, right there. So couple of things that I want you to be aware of. I'm going to just show it to you with this example. So this is a simple lecture that I created in HTML. So if I open up my JS lecture using VS Code, and all you're doing right now is just watching. You don't need to worry about anything else. Just watch, because I'm trying to explain some concepts. And I got so much stuff, I don't always remember which folder I put it in. It should say JS lectures right there. Okay. I'm going to just select that folder, and you'll see I have a index file, simple. And this is how I was teaching you about JavaScript, and that's all in here. So I uploaded it to GitHub. And from GitHub, there is a way, especially if you're dealing with like basic HTML pages, that you can go under settings, and then GitHub gives you something called pages. Pages allow you to publish your HTML or JavaScript, basic stuff. They not something complicated. If you're doing something complicated like Next.js, React, you need to use Vercel. But when I'm doing simple, straightforward HTML, then it's faster, free to just deploy it using GitHub pages. So I just want you to be aware of it. I have asked you to, again, record today's lecture basically because I'm going to be going through things fast. But in GitHub, it under settings, it gives you the option of publishing something through GitHub and deploying it. And that's what I did. So for your class, when I taught you in the before the exam, we were doing JavaScript tutorial. I actually just have it programmed in pure HTML, and we had gone up to control flow. I had not done loops in the last class. So I'm going to go to loops now, right here, and scroll down. My hyperlink was not working, and I hopefully I did do functions, I believe, with you guys, and we did control flow. And loops is where I left off. If I am mistaken, let me know, but we should have done everything up to this point. I'm going to check chat if anybody. So this is from 2 weeks ago. All right, so I'm going to start right here. We're going to talk a little bit about loops. I am going to emphasize something. We started from basics and we're going to go up to loops. The other stuff here, like objects, arrow functions, it gets a little bit more complicated. And it is not my intention to go into all of this stuff at this time. It will be there for you if you want to look at it and practice on your own. But really, up to this point, loops is what I'm expecting you to be able to do for final exams. I may go very briefly into objects or classes, but not today. So we have a little bit to do here, and then I'm going to start working on a project to show you how I would actually create a project nowadays. And that will involve the use of artificial intelligence extensively. Okay, so I want to talk about loops and my and that would be it. So there are a couple of different types of loops, and you really do need to know them. Your last exam, I intentionally made sure, exam 2, that there were no loops on it. So there is something which is called a while loop. There is something called a for loop. You can nest loops. And then we're going to go into objects. But like I said, I don't want to get into objects too much today. So we don't have a lot, but there is some, this is important stuff that I want to be able to cover. So what is a while loop? What is a for loop? And it's really nested loops are nothing more than while loops and for loops. So loop just means you're doing the same thing over and over and over again. And if you want to do something over and over again, you have two choices, a while loop and a for loop. A while loop is used while something is true. So a condition has to be true. As long as that condition is true, it keeps on looping. And it will keep on processing whatever needs to be processed. When you know that you need to loop a certain number of times, like 10 times or 20 times or 3,000 times, then it's typically easier to use a for loop. So even though there are two different types of loops, while loop and for loop, as a programmer, I really don't even need this for loop. I can mimic everything in a for loop using a while loop. So if you understand the while loop, you should be able to understand or do exactly whatever a for loop does. In some programming languages, I think Go is one of them, it doesn't even have two types of loops. In other programming languages, they sometimes have three or four types of loops. You really don't need multiple types of loops. So we're going to talk about this one. I'm going to open up my um, practice. I don't want to do it here. I'm going to just open up a new, um, let me just open up a new file here, and I'm going to call it main.js. And I will copy this code, paste it into my main.js. I am gonna next open up my terminal, and then I'm gonna type node main.js. And it generates something for me. So we'll talk about this in a minute, but I want to focus now on this code. And I'm intentionally making it big so I can focus on it, I can talk about it. So what are we doing? We are starting off with saying, let balance be 1,000. Let is just the variable. We've done this before. Then next, we are defining another variable called month. Then another variable called interest rate. So the interest rate is 0.005, which basically means it's 0.56% monthly. So if you multiply this by 12 or 6% monthly. But the reason we are using 0.5 and not 6% is we are taking into account the compounding period. It's compounded every month. So it's not really 6%, it will be a little bit more than 6%, but it's 6% annually. I made a mistake here. Technically, it's a little bit more than 6%. So if it's 6% per year, compounded monthly, you just take this number and divide it by 12. Next, we're just saying starting balance, which is $1,000. So I want you to look at this one, the output. Starting balance, 1,000. Then, if the interest rate is 0.005 per month, in 1 month, you'll get $5. In 2 months, you will have $10. Forget the decimal for a second. Then 15, 20, 25, so on and so forth. But you can't forget the decimal because, yes, here you're getting exactly $5. But next month, you're going to get interest on interest. So you're not only getting $10, but you're also getting 2 cents, which is interest on that $5, and so on and so forth. It's getting compounded. So here we just put down the starting. Now we are going to use a loop. And what does that loop do? It says, keep on looping, go over and over and over again, as long as the month is less than or equal to 12. And in the loop, right here, we are incrementing the month. So month starts off at 1, it will put the information. Then it increments it. Now it says month plus plus means change the month to 2, add 1 to it. And then because it's a loop, it will go back up and it will say, is the month 2 less than or equal to 12? Answer is yes. So it will go and do this computation. Now it will be 3 over here. Is 3 less than 12? Then 4, then 5, then 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. At 11, it will increment, it will become 12. Is 12 less than or equal to 12? True. And then we'll go in and print it. Now this becomes 13. It will go back up. Is 13 less than or equal to 12? Answer is false. And that's when it gets out of the loop, breaks out of the loop, and will stop. So you will see, based on what we just did, it does starting and then 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way up to 12. And then it stops. It doesn't do 13 because that's not part of this criteria would not be satisfied. So anything and everything that the for loop does, while loop can do. And I think at this point, I'm going to just restrict it to the while loop and not bother with the for loop. Loops do give, of all the stuff that I just taught you with JavaScript, and I'm going to go to the top now. Of all the stuff, and loops, I'm only going to cover while, I don't even want to cover for loop. This is what gives students the hardest time, loops. So this is the one you want to make sure that you practice. Okay. So as far as your final is concerned, or the project that you're going to be updating and things like that, this is all I'm going to expect you to know up to this point. So for the rest of the class today, I'm actually going to work on a full-scale project, a brand new full-scale project. And I'm going to show you how I would do it nowadays using artificial intelligence. Because yes, I've taught you these so you have some basic idea of the language, but you realistically are not going to sit down and program it the way a computer science programmer does. As an accountant, you are going to use AI tools to help you. And I have used a little bit of AI tools throughout the semester, but now today I'm really going to use it. So today's class, the main part is about to start. And what I'm going to do is fairly fast. I'm not expecting anyone to repeat or do what I'm doing because you don't even have access to the technologies that I have access to. So it's much more of something that you just want to watch and learn and get an idea of how I am approaching a project. So the project that I'm gonna have, and I'm gonna close out of this, and I don't think I need this either. GitHub also I really don't need. I'm gonna close out and let me open up new tab. So I'm gonna use a couple of different AI tools. So I pay for all of these things. And this is why I'm telling you today, you're not going to do anything except watch. You're watching a movie. You're not going to try to do this yourself, or there's no way I'm going to be able to do what I want to do in the next hour or two. Okay. So I use for my programming and work Claude, I use ChatGPT, I use Google's Gemini, and I use um, DeepSeek. So I typically will use these four tools to be able to do what I want to do. So I'm gonna start off with ChatGPT. Most of you are familiar with it, and that's the one I'm gonna do. So what I'm trying to create is an auction website for real estate. So I'm gonna say, assist me with creating an auction website for selling real estate. So when I start off, I make sure that whichever AI tool I'm using, it doesn't just start programming or coding. And I'll wanna show you, if I just stop over here, what will happen. Okay. So it's giving me some ideas of what we can do, what you can use for database, what you can use. Now, I don't like Prisma. I know about it already. I use very specific technologies, but it starts like already jumping in, and I'm going to stop it because I don't want this nonsense. Uh, it starts giving you code almost right away, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to go back in here and I want to edit it. I want it to assist me in creating an auction website for selling real estate, but don't generate any code. So I'm going to start off by telling it, hey, don't generate any code, English only. Because you don't want these AI agents to decide on their own what the requirement should be. I want to be able to decide it. You should be able to decide it. So I tell them, don't generate code. I want you to deal with me in English only. And identify factors step by step that I should consider. Now, I don't want it to be telling me use this technology or that technology that I'm not familiar with. So I will tell it what the tech stack is. And in here, I'm going to say, what technology do I want to use? I want to use Next.js, and I will even say 15 plus. So I'm telling it, hey, I want to use the latest. Actually, 15 is not the latest. I think 16 is the latest now. So, and you have to be careful if you're not, and I can always look it up. So I'm going to go and say latest version of Next.js. So the latest stable version as of December 2025 is 16.07. So I just quickly looked it up and I'm telling it 16 plus. I don't want to be too precise. Then auction website needs to update data instantly. So I'm going to use, and here again, I'm going to go to Gemini. What are some benefits of using convex DB versus Postgres? Now, I already know this I'm doing obviously to teach you guys. So I'm asking it to tell me which database should I use, and the benefits of using convex DB over Postgres primarily center on developer experience and built-in features for real time. Obviously, I know what it is, but I'm going to ask it. What is real time in convex DB? Because I want you guys to understand why I'm selecting this program, this database. Real time in convex DB refers to an automatic built-in reactivity where data changes in the database are instantly updated basically and pushed to the client application. So imagine right now we are using um, um, we're using, let's say, a chat application. So in a chat application, as soon as you type in your message, I should be able to see it. You should be able to see it. So imagine what you're doing when you text someone or you use WhatsApp. As soon as you send a message, they see it and you see it. And if it's a group chat where, let's say, 30 people are in the same WhatsApp group, they will all see it instantly. So in designing an auction website, when somebody bids, I will give $7,000 or I bid $9,000. I want to design it in such a way that everybody can see it instantly. So one of the things I want to do is use convex DB. So when I am doing this, I tell it what my text stack is going to be with using convex DB. And your exam, this is exactly what I use. Next.js, convex DB. On your exam, I did not set up any security. You did not need to log in. All you had to do was provide your Kuni ID. It generated the exam. You could submit it. But I did not have a login system set up. It's fairly easy to do, but I did not do it at that time. Here, I may want to set up a login system because I don't want people bidding without logging in. I want to know who you are. So I'm thinking about introducing a login system, but I'm going to leave that alone for just a few minutes. Next, my designing, how should it look? And I'm going to tell it, hey, uh, using Tailwind CSS with shared CN. We have used these things before. And Lucid React icons. So if I want icons like this little Gemini icon, there's a library called Lucid React. So I want this stuff. And then I'm going to also tell it that I want some sort of security. And for that, I'm going to use something called clerk auth. So this is my tech stack that I'm telling it that I will be using because I don't want it to just decide on its own. And this is a common stack that I use. Sometimes I change this to React and I'll use Neon Postgres. But for this particular application, I have some idea of what I want to do. This is what I want to use. So now, based on this, I'll have it ask me questions. So, what factors should I be considering? Mhm. So, with this, I let ChatGPT do its work. I'm sending it, and I will wait a minute or two and let it just go through whatever it needs to go through, and it will start asking me questions. I will answer them. I'll think about it and then go further. So before I go any further, are you guys understanding what application I'm trying to build? An auction website. So if somebody wants to sell their home, I want them to come to my website, register their home, and then we market it, and people will come to our site and say, yep, I like this home, blah, 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 blah. So it's if you want to make that type of a site, obviously it can be very complex. I'm trying to make a very simple site. So it's giving me things that I need to worry about. I need to worry about state licensing laws, an auction. What else? How do you want to buy it? There are different ways of doing it. English ascending, sealed bid, Dutch, buy it now, reserve versus absolute, multi-lot events, staggered closings, uh, so close, blah, blah, blah. There are different ways of doing it. I don't know too much about it. So I go in and I'm going to be researching these things further. And what I want you to do is, again, be aware that when I'm asking you, as far as your final is concerned or your final project, I want you to be using AI tools next week. So I will tell you which one to use, but me, I'm using multiple tools. You have a choice. You can use whatever tool you want, but me, I'm going to use multiple tools because I do have multiple subscriptions. So in here, I need to first figure this out. What are the different options? So now I'm going to go back to Gemini, open up a new chat, and then I'll come back in here. So because I'm asking simple questions, I go to Gemini. I'm not paying for this one. Basic, easy questions. I go to Gemini. So I'm gonna say, I want to set up a website to sell. Now I'm being very specific. My personal home auction style. I want users to bid after they have seen my house in person. They will register when they come to see the house. When making a bid online, everyone should be able to see each other's bid. So I want users to bid after they have seen my house in person. When they register in person, I will assign them a username and password. So I'll do this basically offline. Now, when they are making a bid online, everyone should be able to see the bid timing will be for, let's say, 30 minutes. The bid timing window will be for 30 minutes. On a specific date. This is used to establish an offer only if the highest offer is unable to make the purchase, then we will go to the next highest offer and so on. When people are making a bid, they are not really bound, but if they have the winning bid, they must give a $5,000 deposit within 24 hours. Again, something to this effect. I'm speaking, I'm telling it what I wanted to do. So, and this is now Gemini. Help me draft user requirements for help me refine this. Let me put it this way. Help me refine this for let me refine my idea. Again, I always tell it, do not generate any code, just English. So now I'm in Gemini. I have some idea. So next week, if I have you work on something, I'll have you use something like Gemini. It's free. You're going to go in, put something in, develop an idea. So I'm doing a detailed in-person registration. Instead of just assigning a username and password and in-person viewing to promote more thorough registration. Okay, so that's fine. Require ID, sign a term of offer, pre-qualifications. See, I really wasn't thinking of all of these things. I was thinking about pre-qualification, but nothing else. Credential assignment. Assign a unique anonymous name, so on and so forth. Set a strong temporary password. Refine the bidding, so 30-minute window, so on and so forth. So again, it's just going through and looking at it. So anti-sniping rules, what exactly is that? To prevent someone from waiting until the last second to bid, a common issue in online auctions. Implement an extension rule, which is if a bid is placed in the final 2 minutes of a 30-minute window, the clock is automatically extended by another 2 minutes. I was not even thinking about this. And this is where the advantage comes in, right? Somebody's coming last minute and they give a very high bid. They beat everybody. But maybe the second highest bidder would have now wanted to. So um, still have time. So me, I would do this like if it's being done in the last 2 minutes or 5 minutes, extended by another 2 minutes, 5 minutes. This should be continuous, and I like this idea. Transparency. Clearly display the current highest offer, the username of the bidder who placed it, and time remaining on the website. Set a minimum increment that you must bid not $1 higher. We are talking about selling a house. So, maybe I want increment bids of 5,000 or 10,000, not even small amounts. So, refining the legal offer structure, your structure, where the bid is non-binding, but the winner must place a deposit, needs to be carefully managed. So this is called the bid is an offer to treat, clarify the legal terms, and that it's not legally binding, and it can go on to the second person, third person. So this should be going into the instruction section where we would be telling the user what the requirements are likely to be. So 5,000 must be critical, otherwise it will automatically go to the next person. And again, I'm just moving on a little bit, moving on to the next highest person. Okay. So I'm going to take the same thing. and I'm going to open it up in Claude. I'm giving it exact same instructions to see if it gives me somewhat different data information. As accountants, the most critical thing for you will be designing the user requirements. And that's what we're working on right now. Not just the technical programming aspect of it, but having good user requirements. So Claude is going to look at this, and now it's guiding me. So make sure you can serve with a real estate attorney. Some states require real estate auctions to be conducted by a licensed auctioneer. Okay. Again, I'm leaving it up for you to just sort of look at and see the differences that are coming up. You might want a small deposit even to participate. So you not, and again, that's a good idea. That somebody's serious, maybe get $1,000 deposit. So how will you prevent someone from registering multiple times? And again, my solution was everybody has to register in person and provide an ID. So all I'm doing right now is generating some things that you can go through to decide what to do. So at this point, I'm going to go back to what I entered in ChatGPT. And here I was telling it actually help me create a website. So I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to just put it in here now, which is Claude. And I'm going to tell it, I first want to focus on developing the application. For now, leave the instructions blank. Assume the um, I mean, we will generate fake users with just username to test the system. I want to focus only on the process of making a bid and ensuring all users are able to see the highest bid. I will slowly refine this project. Here, I'm going to tell it, generate the home page where the generate, not the home page, generate a page where actual bids will be placed by the user. All right, so now I'm telling it I want it to generate, and I've also told it what the stack is going to be, which is right here, tech stack. So I'm gonna, so at this point, let's take a 10-minute break. It's 7:35. Come back at 7:45, and we will continue. I'm gonna stop screen share. I'm actually gonna keep working in the next few minutes. So when you come back, you'll have something. I'll have the project set up. You'll be able to see things. So come back at 7:45. While I was showing you how to use different AI tools to generate the initial design of the project, when it comes to actually coding, I use something called cursor. So I'm going to bring that up. What did they do? Like I really don't like these guys, Microsoft continuously messing up. And they just updated my screen without doing it what I wanted. So let me just type it in. So what I'm doing right now is loading up software, and I'm gonna close this one out. Say new agent, and let me open up the right folder. All right, so what I had done in VS Code is create a Next.js project. We've done that many times. So I said npx create next app at latest, and I said give it the name of home auction. So this was created for me, and that's all I have done. This is what I wanted. Now I'm using software called Cursor. which is basically exactly like VS Code, except it is driven by an AI agent. And I'm telling it to use an auto AI agent instead of specifying ChatGPT or Claude or whatever. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying use whatever is going to make sense. And it's telling me new update is available. Do you want to install it? I'm going to say install now. So it will just restart. And my instructions, I'm now going to put them not in Claude or Chat GPT or whatever. So I'm going to just copy this and paste it in there. So let's make sure my project is home auction. And in here, I'm now going to paste my instructions. So I will ask you to download and install Cursor. It does allow you to use it for free for a while. But if you start using it too much, they have a $20 fee. And again, depending on how you're using it, it will be there. So the same sort of instructions that I had for ChatGPT, Gemini, etc., I'm putting in here, which is I'm telling it to help create a website. I'm telling it the stack. And uh, right now, I don't want to tell it about auth because that complicates things. So I'm saying use Next.js, ConvexDB, Tailwind, Shared CNN, Lucid React icons. And I'm telling it very specifically, and I want to develop a very simple application to teach students. That's what I'm doing. I don't want it to get it start thinking, hey, let's make it commercial scale. For now, leave the instructions to users blank. I want to focus only on the process of making a bid and ensuring all users are able to see the highest bid. I will slowly refine the project, allow two text boxes, one for name, one for bid amount, generate a page where actual bids will be placed by the users. For now, the users will enter their name and place a bid. No auth needed. However, the highest bid amount and the user name should always be displayed in descending order. So just with this, I'm going to let it create the page website for me. That's it. So it's going to plan and it will start doing things. So you see, it's installing Convex, Lucid React. I did not do that. I only installed Next.js. So it's going in and creating things for me, my database, creating files for me, all on its own. and it's still working, it's still running. It's asking me at this particular point in time that is it okay to run this command? What would you like to configure? Use arrow keys, create new project, or choose an existing project. So at this point, I want to create a new project. And I will allow it to run every time. Now, at this stage, it is because I'm doing it for demo purposes for a class project. Um, I'm letting it do things which I normally would be, I'll be more careful. Right now, I'm just being um, less careful, let's put it this way. So, but it's having a problem right now. It's taking way too long. So I'm gonna stop it. And this command that it was having problem running, installing, and uh, what I'm gonna do is do it myself. So if it gets stuck or there are some problems or issues, I can run these commands myself. So I'm gonna come in here. I'm gonna clear it up. And I'm gonna look at this directory, the home option, which was created. I'm in the wrong folder right now. So first thing I want to do is make sure I'm in the right folder. So I want to be not just in the auction folder, but the home auction folder. And in here, cursor automatically created some stuff for me, or it should have created some stuff for me. So it went in under app, page.tsx, some stuff in here. Now, I don't know exactly what it did because I did not let it finish running. So for me to see what it has done, I'm gonna say npm run dev. Let it run and see what's going on. So I'm gonna go to my localhost 3000. And it's giving us an error. There's some sort of an issue. So what I need to go to is go back to cursor, and I'm going to tell it to continue. Even though I stopped it, now I'm telling it continue. Something happened, it got stuck, and so it's now creating a bunch of files for me. That's what I wanted. So typically something like this, for me, if I was developing it from idea to completion, I can typically now do it within a day or two. So here I'm trying to keep a very simple example that I can do in an hour or two. So whatever I'm doing right now, in your next class, you are going to be doing this yourself. I will give you next week, step-by-step instructions, use cursor, do this, do that. But during the class time, you'll be building something on your own, and I will make sure that you keep the scope narrow so that you can finish it. And your final will be based on this particular stuff that we're doing. So again, it's taking time to create, but it's going to end up creating a fairly sophisticated project for us with virtually no effort other than just describing what I wanted it to do. And up here, you can keep track. It has created basically 15 files for me. And now we are basically towards the end. So one of the things that you need to do is make sure that you need to run this for convex. So I'm going to just copy it and I'm going to run it in VS Code. So in here, I'm going to open up a new terminal. And in here, I'm going to say npx convex dev. So I'm going to tell it to either choose a new project or an existing project. I'm not sure which one I want to do. So I'm going to go back up to Convex website. And I had you create an account at Convex website a couple of weeks ago. So you should all have that. But I'm going to go to my Convex account. I'm going to log in with GitHub. And I'm looking, I don't have a project here yet. So your exam is in here. And I have other things. We were working on payroll in here, but I don't have a new project set up. So what I'm going to do is go back to VS Code and tell it, set up a new project. It's asking me what the name is. Home auction sounds good. And I want it to be cloud deployment. So it's going to run, do things. And it's very important when you use Convex that you keep it running. So on one side, I'm running my Next.js application, but I'm also running continuously Convex because it will end up modifying things all the time, and I need it to be running so it stays up to date. So if I am okay, it should now be running in real time, and I'm going to check it by going to localhost 3000 and see, do I still have an error? And I don't. Now, it created this for me. So enter my name, AAQ. My bid amount is 300. Submit bid. It shows up here as 300. So far, highest bid. Now I'm somebody else. Jack, I'm gonna bid 250. It probably should not let me bid, but let's see what happens. It did let me bid, and this is something I have to figure out, that I may not want to allow anyone to submit. But actually, this is not a bad idea, because maybe this person bid too high and is not going to honor it, and this guy's second highest bid, maybe the one I'll actually go with. So you saw how quickly I created this, about 30-40 minutes with all my explanations. And now what I want to do is make sure I send it to GitHub. So I'm going to come in here. You've seen me do it many, many, many times. Messages, initial, commit. I'm going to commit it. I'm going to publish it. I am going to publish it as a private repository. I don't want anybody going in and fooling around with it. Now I'm going to go to my Vercel website. In here, I'm going to add a new project for auction. And what I'm going to do is get it from my GitHub account. I'm going to link it. Now, at this particular point in time, if I try to deploy it, it's going to fail. The reason it's going to fail is because I have some secret stuff in my project that Vercel does not know about, but it's going to need to know. That secret stuff is in here, this environment.local file. So in here, I'm gonna show you, I have these two secret values. And unless Vercel knows about these values, they do not get uploaded. So this is like my passwords. They don't get uploaded to GitHub. So Vercel does not know about these. So I want to make sure Vercel knows about these. So I'm going to come into my Vercel account and I'm going to say, hey, I've got what's called environmental variables. And I'm going to say, import them. I don't want to type them in. So my environmental variables are in my document, coding, accounting 343, auction, home auction, and then that .env local file, which should be in here. My vision is not great, this one. So I told it, hey, go in there and look it up. Now I'm going to click deploy. We did not do this before. This is the first time I'm showing you how to do it like this. When you are deploying, this is like what I call a dangerous phase. Even if your project is working locally, it may not work on the website. So you have to be very careful. Once you deploy, make sure the environmental variables are correct. And then other things can also cause a problem. We'll need to find out. Well, it's telling me congratulations went in. We did not run into a problem. So I'm gonna say go to dashboard and I want to open this up. So now my site is live at this link, which I'm going to send to everybody. And I want you to click on the link and I want you to use your real name and make a bid of any amount. So I want you to go in, type it in, and make a bid of any amount. And as soon as you bid, it should refresh it right here. And you see instantly somebody with 200, somebody with 500. It's getting updated. I don't have to click refresh. All right, keep on bidding and we will. But you see how quickly I made a very simple bidding site. So somebody go ahead and outbid. Now, all of this data is getting stored in ConvexDB, which is right here. So I have your exam grids in here, other stuff, but right here is home auction. So I'm going to go in and show you what the data looks like. So every time somebody's bidding an amount, I got the name, when it was done, so on and so forth. And this data is getting updated. So at this time, I want to ask everybody to stop using this site, stop bidding, and I want to go in and work on updating my site. So now that I have the very basic working, and you saw 15-20 minutes, you could develop a site like this. If you're using Cursor, if you're using Gemini and stuff like that to pre-plan what you want to do, the site, which is database driven, this was my Vercel. I'm going to close that out. I don't like having too many things open. And this is my local site. I'm going to close that as well. I'm going to get rid of these things. So my database, and I want to clear it all up. So like, most of you have done it and you can see your name. Okay. Up there, up there, up there, up there. Okay. And this is good. Now I want to delete all of these bids. So couple of ways to do it. Easiest way is I'm going to go in here, click on this. I've highlighted all the bids and I'm going to say delete all. So everybody's bids are gone. You come up and it's telling me no bids. A beautiful thing about ConvexDB is instantly it will update my page. In the past, you had to do things like this. Oh, I'll refresh my page. No. Anytime anybody enters something and instantly it will update it. So I want only one student. Malika, I want you to enter your name and enter a bid amount. And no one else, please. All right. So Malika didn't acknowledge. And you see, I did not refresh the page. Instantly, this was updated. So this technology that we're using, Convex DB, is fantastic for like a chat application or a dashboard. In accounting, you will need dashboard all the time where the data gets updated for everyone. So as soon as Malika entered 500, everybody's web page automatically refreshed with the latest data. And that is one of the reasons I like using this one. Okay. There are times you don't need this functionality. In that case, I will use Postgres, Neon Postgres. But it's too difficult for me to teach you too many different technologies. So for this class, I just want to focus on this one. It's called Convex DB. Now, and I want to modify this site. It's good, but it's not good enough. So one of the things that I would like to do is, again, I'm going to go back to my cursor website or cursor application. And I want to update some stuff in here. And before I do that, I always make sure that my latest code has been pushed to GitHub. Because cursor may end up doing something now that I'm unhappy with, and I want to be able to undo it. So in here, I'm going to say a user should only be able to bid in $5,000 increments. So this is one thing that I want to add. Next is create an admin page and protect it with .env .local password. I'll call it admin password. One, two, three, four. So I'm telling it create an admin page and protect it with a password of 1234. The admin page should allow me to enter a description of the asset as well as the starting price. Allow full CRUD functionality for the admin page. So what I'm saying here is that I should be able to create, read, update, delete assets on the admin page. Okay, so allow me to enter a description of the asset as well as the starting price, allow full CRUD capability for the admin page, and let's just see what happens with this. So I told it to create an admin password of 1234. So in here, this file, it should sooner or later update it and add a password in here. And I'm gonna go back to this one. It's working on it. Go back in here and just watch. At some point, it should update the password. And again, because I'm trying to use a real estate website, I'm saying increments of 5,000. So I'm refining slowly, slowly. I'm going to refine. You start off with something very basic, get the functionality going. Then you refine your project, add more and more features, and it will do the uh, programming for you. You don't need to worry about it. So Cursor right now is probably the best that's out there for AI programming. So it did all these things. Now it's, telling me this is what I did, this is what I did, and I want to really look in here. It still did not add the password. It should have. I'm not seeing it in here. I'm going to just close it, open it up one more time. No, I'm still not seeing it. It should have done that, and it did not. So you need to watch out for what it does, it doesn't do. But from what I can tell, so here with the instructions, okay, so it's telling me create a local file and do this. It did not do it automatically. It's telling me I need to do it. That's fine. I'll go in and in here, open up .env local file, and now I'll put this in there. And you guys just remember my password so that we can see it in action. So if I go back to my website, this is live on Vercel. I'm actually now going to refresh it. Now, it should have an admin page, and I'm not sure where that is. Right? I told it to create an admin page. So I'm going to look at my code and see, was an admin page created? So under app, it did create an admin page. So because it created a folder called admin, which is logical, now I'm going to just go same URL. I'll open it up in a new tab. /admin. Same URL, and you guys can do the same thing. So go to the admin page, and I'm getting page not found error. I'll try one more time. Okay. So because it's not working, I will say it's saying do npm run dev. I'm already doing these things. I've done 1, 2, and 3 already. It's saying I should be able to access it. I'm not able to. Now, a couple of things might be going on. Number one is Vercel may not have updated it. So I'm going to go to Vercel. Did it update what I just did? Okay. The latest one. So under Vercel, with my projects, home auction, let's look at that. It's only showing an initial commit. And I thought I did some more work on it, right? But did I commit it? Answer is no. You see up in here? So now here I'll add a message saying added admin page. So even though the work was done, until I commit it and I sync it, it's not going to be known to Vercel. So now this one, I want to monitor deployments, and it's telling me it's building it. And it's going to take about 35 seconds based on what happened last time, if there are no errors. Okay, 23 seconds, it's saying it's ready. So now if I go to my admin page, this is the admin page, I need to refresh it, but I should see my admin page. Great. And you guys can do the same thing, log in with 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to log in. I don't want to save it, so I'll do never. But now it's saying create an asset. And this is what's CRUD functionality. So you guys just create something with your initials. I'm going to say AAQ dash home, my initials. And my starting price is 100,000. So I'm going to say create asset. And you can create your own right now. Just with your initials, you should be able to create one. And as soon as you create it, you should see it instantly on this screen. So it's telling me no one has created it yet. Excellent. Okay. And I want a couple of students to create it. Not everybody, but just try it out. Okay. So now that we have a couple of assets created, it should have given us full what's called CRUD functionality. Create, read, update, delete. So we are reading it. We created it. I can update it. So I should be able to go in, click on these icons. It brings it up here. And I'll say home 1. And I'm gonna change the price by adding another 0. And I'll update it. And now it's been updated right here. And these icons that are you seeing, these are those Lucid React icons. So I did not have to program them. I just told it use these icons and it's using it. And now I don't want it. I can just delete it. So I'm going to go in here, click delete. It asks me, are you sure? I'm going to say yes. And it's gone. So this is what we mean by CRUD functionality. So now if I go to auctions, am I going to see this or this? Let's find out. Okay, so I'm seeing the beach house. Let me go back to admin. And the beach house is up here. And let's see if that's why it's showing up, because it's at the top. Let's edit this one. And so I'm just making some changes. I'm going to update it. Okay. Now, my guess is because of the way the order is set up, only one asset is going to show up in here. So if I go, let me get rid of this now. I'm going to refresh it. It's again showing only one asset. It's not letting me select a different asset. So what I want to do is go back in here from admin panel. I should be able to indicate which asset is active. I should also be able to give users, auction users, a unique 4-digit ID for each asset. So I'm saying the URL should have an ID in there, which is unique, so somebody can do it, and I can decide if it should be active or inactive as far as the auction is concerned. So I'm going to let it make those changes. Right now we are in good shape. Nothing has been updated. So it will go in. So all I have to do is give it my requirements. It should keep on updating it. So while all of this is going on, I'm going to open up a place. I want you to have this downloaded by next week. Cursor AI download. So I'm going to copy this link, send it to everybody. So you can do it now. You can do it. Just have it ready before next week. Please sign up for an account with them. And in order to do this, you may have to spend $20 because you may run out of usage. They do let you use it for free, but if you are actually making an application, um, at some point they will say, no, you can't use it unless you pay us. So it's $20 and you can get it for 1 month. And it will be well worth it as far as doing the work is concerned. So it's still working for me right here. And I'm going to read the instructions. Do I need to do anything? So it implemented a bunch of features. I don't need to do anything from what I can tell. But I do need to upload the changes. So in here, I'm gonna just say active status for assets. I'm gonna commit it, sync the changes. So when I sync the changes, it will take at least 2-3 minutes before my site will be updated. So I'm gonna close out of this one. I am gonna close out of this one. I'm gonna close out of admin panel right here. So while it's happening, I wanna get rid of this bid, because when this bid was made, it really wasn't made for this project. So the data is right now wrong to begin with. So I'm gonna go into my tables. So there's an asset table and there is a bids table. So I'm gonna get rid of all the bids and assets. I'm also gonna get rid of. I'm gonna refresh it and it's saying no active assets. That's fine. Let's go to our admin. And password is 1234. So now I'm gonna just create my asset. I'm gonna just say first asset, and I'm gonna give it a starting price of let's make it 20,000, and it's saying you want a code or leave it blank. I'm gonna leave it blank. Create asset. So now it has created not just the asset, but a code. And even though I had given it a price of 20,000, for some reason it made it this amount. I have to find out why. But there's a code of 5702. So now if I just say view auctions, it's letting me view auctions for 5702. Let me go back. In here, it should have allowed me to make it active or inactive. I had told it, right, in the instructions. It's not letting me do that just yet. Let me see if I can edit it. And I'm not seeing it. So I'm gonna go back and remind it, okay? Provide option to make the auction for an asset active or inactive. Only the admin should be able to do it. So I gave it this instruction before. It did not do it. So now when I'm testing my software, I realize it hasn't done it, and I'm gonna add it to my added option to make asset active or inactive. I'm not going to commit it yet till I make sure all the work is done. So, and I normally would give you a second break at this time, but I'm planning on just continuing and end the class early. If somebody does need a break, you can go and come back. So this was like a big feature. You can see how long it's taking it to do, but it will do it. So it's saying completed 4 out of 4 tasks. It's going to verify that it's working. And then once you get this, you know you should be good. So I'm going to go back in here. Now I will commit it and sync it. Once I sync it, I need to give it about a minute or so for Vercel to update it. So I'm going to delete this asset out. I don't want this because I want to make sure. And this should not be showing, but that's okay. I'm going to refresh this page. No assets. I'm going to check on the back end. There are no assets. There are no bids. So make sure you have convex DB. I do want to refresh it. And now you can see with the admin panel, it should have an option, and I'm not seeing it to make it active inactive. So I'm going to wait another minute. And let me just try creating an asset. So it's showing auction inactive. So it did update it. Now probably right here, I can say start auction, and then this will become active. So like right now, if you said view auction, nothing should be active. Auction is currently inactive, bidding is not allowed. But they are showing property details of ABC. Let me go back to admin. I'm going to refresh it, make sure I start auction. Now, if I go to view auction, so I'm going to make an $600. It should not let me do $600, okay? Oh, my name. I'll say AIQUE, and then I only want to bid 600. And I get a warning. Okay, please enter a valid value. Nearest value of $550. 5,500. So at this point, I don't even like this instructions, but it's starting off at 500 minimum bid, 500 in 5,000 increments. I'm not even sure what that means. It should be, I don't think it's gotten my I number. So I'm gonna just say 5,000. Let's try 500. Should not let me do it. Okay, let's do 5,000. So it's not letting me do that because I'm off by 4,500. So 5,500 is the minimum bid it should allow. Okay, let's try 5,501. Or there is a logical error here. But let's try 5,501. Nope. So right away we can see there is some sort of a problem with it. So I'm going to go back and say, look at the logic for making bids. If the starting bid is a thousand, and actually, before I get into this, I should tell it to do something else. So when you are creating an asset from the admin page, for the asset, it should allow me to specify what the increment should be. So I'm gonna say on admin page, I should be able to specify the minimum increment in the bid amount. So, for example, if the starting bid is 500 and the increment is 1,000, no one should be able to bid less than 1,500. Update the logic as well as instructions. Provide immediate feedback to user as they are entering their bid. While the bid is invalid, show it in red color. Once it is valid amount, change it to green color. So, and again, we can go on and keep on adding features. That's not my purpose. I want you to have an idea of how you approach it so that you are able to quickly create an application yourself. So I'm almost at the end right now. Another couple of minutes and we will be done for today. Now, with you, what I've been doing is um, sending updates over and over again. That's not a good idea. The reason I was doing it is so you guys would be able to interact with it. So typically, what I would do is uh, not make commits till everything is working, or at least reasonable amount is working, and I would be testing it locally. Uh, but for now, I am going to be updating it. So modified bid increment constraints. And I don't want to commit till I know that we are done over here. So it's still working. So I told it to add real-time validation with color feedback, a feature. So, and you'll see that in action. So again, user experience, it's telling us exactly what it did. But it's important to look through this because it may be saying you need to do something. So I'm not seeing that in here. So we are good. And it's telling me files should be updated by now. So I'm gonna do this, commit, sync. Again, I gotta wait a couple of minutes, at least 2 minutes or so. And while this is happening, I go back and I will delete out any data that's there because I want to make sure that we start with fresh data. I'll refresh it. So again, I'll say ABC investment and let's do 1,000. Minimum increment should be 500. 4-digit code should be auto. So minimum increment 500, and we are good with this. So I'll go to start auction, and then view auction. So I'll enter my name as just junk, and in here, minimum bid should be basically $1,500 in increments of 499. So it's basically giving us this. Nobody should be able to bid. So I'm going to try to bid 1200. And you see that it's showing in red. Okay. Now it should allow me to do 12,000. So it's again, this is not their fault, it's my fault. They're saying it must be in increments of 499. So I should have said increments of at least 499. So the increment amount at least, not exactly equal to that amount. So the minimum increment amount and this was not the programming fault. It was my fault that I was not clear enough in my wording. But you can just see again at this point that it's working. I'm going to move this back. So minimum bid should be $14.99 right now. And now it's a valid bid amount. It's in green. It did it instantly. I can submit my bid. So the next person can see exactly what it would be or it should be. And that's the beauty of this. So enter your name, and I'm not going to enter my name and try to bid. Not too successful right now. Let's put down 1999.98 without my name. And it's forcing me to enter my name. So you can see it coming along. It's still not perfect. You need to be checking it periodically, but way better than it was when we started. So I'm going to end the class here. It gives you an idea. And next week, we will continue putting everything together. Next week is the last class, and then you have your final exam. I'll see you next week. Any questions? Stay behind.